second grade. I hope you all are doing really great. I definitely miss you all, and before you all left, we were learning about caves and caverns and the difference between the two. Now, you guys know by this point the difference between the two is that caverns have formations and caves do not. Our cavern formations are stalagmites and stalactites. And so I want you to go ahead and point to where you think stalactites grow. And now go ahead and point to where you think stalagmites grow. If you pointed up for stalactites, you are right. We know that because stalactites has a C for ceiling. And if you pointed down for stalagmites, you are correct. And we know that because stalagmites has a G in it for ground. Before you all left, we were right in the middle of a science project. We were seeing if we could grow stalagmites and stalactites outside of a cavern. The hypothesis that some of you made, some of you said yes, some of you said no. It was pretty split, 50-50, and you all had been coming into my room, making observations on the progress of our project and seeing what was happening. So I came in today to show you the end result of what has happened, to see whose hypothesis was correct. So our first class I did it was Mr. Rand's class. So if we look up really closely, we can see that we have some slight formations on our yarn. We also have quite a bit on the plate. If we look at our second one, we have definitely some bigger formations here on the yarn. So I would definitely say that for Mr. Rand's class, they definitely have some slight formations. You can see these ones are growing up. Most of them are growing up. We have a couple that are growing downwards. So let's go ahead and go to Miss Bennett's class and Miss P's class. Now, Miss Bennett and Miss P's class have quite a few formations going on. There's a lot of growth here. So we have some that are growing up towards the ceiling, and we have some that are growing down towards the ground. We have a lot of formations that have fallen onto the plate. So let's take a look at our second one for Miss Bennett's class. We definitely have some more formations here too. We have quite a few on the plate as well. Our last class is Mr. Shaw's class, so let's see how theirs have grown. And we have some really big formations here, definitely a lot growing down towards the ground. We have a lot on the plate as well. So let's take a look at our second one. We have a couple on the plate. We have a lot around the bottom of the jar, and we have a lot on the string as well. So after taking a look at all of the different classes projects, I would say that our answer to if stalagmites and stalactites can grow outside of caverns is yes. As you could see, they were really tiny compared to real stalagmites and stalactites, but we did have formations that had grown. The reason why the formations were able to form is because they had the same process of real stalagmites and stalactites. As you all know, stalagmites and stalactites are formed from dripping water in caverns. The water drips from the ceiling, and it has really tiny minerals in the water. And we know that minerals are basically itty bitty tiny rocks that you can't really see with your eye. And so when the water drips from the ceiling, it leaves behind minerals. Then over time, those minerals combine to form the stalagmites and the stalactites. And just like that, that's what happened with our yarn. The water that had baking soda in it dripped from the yarn. You guys, when you made your observation, saw that the yarn was wet and was dripping. And so when the water would drip, it would leave behind little pieces of baking soda. And then over time, the baking soda would clump together and form what you see. If I was to refill those and add more water and baking soda, it would continue to grow and grow more over time. So we basically just did a small experiment of what happens inside of a cavern when stalagmites and stalactites grow. I hope you all enjoyed seeing your formations. I'm definitely going to try to keep them up for when you come back so you can see them in person. They are really fragile, so hopefully they'll hold up until then. And I can't wait to see you all.